Hi, how are you guys today? Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you guys can hear me a lot better. I do have a microphone now. I'm checking this microphone out. So you guys can leave a comment. Let me know. Is it okay? Does it sound different from what it usually sounds like? Because I wanted to make some videos outside. It's a beautiful day out here in the neighborhood. And I wanted to, experience that. So now, this is Jill's notebook. Okay. Another page out of my notebook. I have another journal entry for you. I'm going to be talking today about a time when I was in my disobedient stages in life, and I was dating same sex, and I knew that God did not want me because I heard His voice clearly tell me to leave the relationship alone, and I did not listen. Okay, so as a result, I had some punishments. Really, I had some punishments. Okay, now, oh gosh, I'm going to talk about one particular punishment because I have so many, so I have to break them down. Okay, now this is a time when, let's see. Okay, so I was in this fight, right, like an argument. My ex partner, she had a habit of when she felt like she wasn't in control, because definitely was a narcissist. Let her speak about it. She'll say I am the actual narcissist, but I'm not. And I tell you why I'm not a narcissist. Because a narcissist would never allow another person to gain any control of their life or their environment. And because I gave her that ability to have some control over my life, I could never be a narcissist in that way. Never. Everybody has narcissistic behaviors because everybody would love to be in control of their own lives, right? However, a narcissist is when it's like so overly and you feel like that everything and everybody that you come across or around, you have to have some control of that situation or that person. And I am not that person. Okay. So now, my ex, she's that person. And if she wants you out of there, she'll mace you. And she has maced me about 3 times. And I actually, if you see me turning this, because I don't know, it's just a habit. But she maced me and it wasn't fun. It burns a lot. So this typical situation, she had a habit of going downtown when she, okay, so let me back up a little bit. So we lived together, right? And we lived together for about 3.5 years the first time. Okay. And within that 3.5 years, she didn't have an income for a certain amount of years, because she had lost her income. And I took care of the whole household. Let's just keep it all the way 100. I'm going to be very transparent. Okay. So even though the apartment was in her name, right, because she had Section 8, it was her place. However, I had established residency there. Okay. I was there for 3.5 years. And out of 3.5 years, I paid all the bills. She never skipped a beat, right? Like cell phone on, haircuts, whatever. I paid for everything. Okay. All right. So now, it was a time that we got into an argument, a debate, and we never fist fought. We only fist fought one time. Okay. I'm not going to talk about that time right now. That's for another day. But this particular day, we are battling, you know, just personalities clashing. And I'll tell you why. It now some people can have, and this is like a debative type of situation right here. Like people will argument this all day long. However, I'm gonna say that if God got his hand on you, it ain't never gonna work. Because I feel like in situations, right, where they look like they work for other people, those same situations never work out for me. Never. I could never have a successful lesbian relationship. Some people can. It might be successful at the time. It might be successful throughout the duration, right? But have you ever thought that maybe God doesn't have his hand on you and that's why it's so successful? I wonder what would happen once either or will leave the world. What do you think will happen? I'll leave that for you to decide. However, for me, it never works. Never. I'm talking about, it's just a clash. First of all, it's a clash in the personality because I have a I've been the head of my household for years. You know, my children, they're grown now. However, I'm used to it was just me and my children, for the longest. So it's like I was used to being in control, right? Because I had to. Not by choice, I had to, right? And for her, she was used to being in control. She had two children as well. Not at the time we were together. However, it was times my children did live with us. Although her children did not live with us at the time. Okay. So hold on. Let me I forgot to I always forget this sometimes. Gotta put my do not disturb on so I won't be disturbed. Okay. Let me bring it back. Let me bring it on back. Y'all see where I'm at? Let's see. I'm back. Okay. So now, again, her children didn't live with us. Okay. So now, we get into a dispute. She wants to mace me, but not all the time did she mace me, right? But however, she would go downtown and try to get a restraining order on me. Now, for guys who know, when you work in the field of healthcare, mental health, you have credentials, you work with kids, you have to have like all type of background checks, and you can't afford to allow anybody to allow you to mess up your background checks, right? Because one, that's your livelihood right there, okay? That's my livelihood. And I did not want to allow a person to have control over my livelihood, okay? I'm paying all the bills anyway, you know what I'm saying? But again, not even that. Say if I wasn't paying all the bills, this is still my livelihood, okay? Now, um, mind you, I'm going through all of this because I'm not being obedient to God, okay? Now, let me tell it. Ooh, I love the Lord. I love him with all my heart. I go to church sometimes. I was what you call one of them lukewarm Christians, okay? A lukewarm Christian. Y'all know what those lukewarm Christians are. Like, God says all day long, if you do one thing that's not of God and you do some things that are of God, it's all wrong. The whole life. You don't get credit for half. You get credit for some. You don't get credit for half. You get credit for all. You get credit for none if you do credit for half. Okay? You will never receive just half a credit because, oh, I went to church, but I went out last night and I was drinking and then I went home and I made love to my partner and we're not married. You're not getting some of the credit, you're getting no credit because you're what you call a lukewarm Christian. And that used to be me all day long. So lukewarm, so hot, right? Thought I was doing it all right. I read my Bible, I watch a church sermon, but I'm still living every day in sin, okay? Knowingly. Knowingly. All right. Now, again, she would go downtown, try to get a restraining order on me. So this one particular time, she goes to get a restraining order on me, right? But I don't know. I don't know. I started to like kind of figure out by her moves whether she was going to do it or not. You know what I mean? She would never do it when I'm around, mostly when I'm at work. It's almost like she kind of like wanted me not to have a good livelihood, which means that that would hurt her livelihood because again, I'm taking care of everybody, right? Okay. So, I come to the apartment one day, to the complex, and I'm socializing with somebody else that I knew there. She gets upset that I'm there. I don't know that she has this supposed restraining order because in the state of Pennsylvania, when you have a restraining order, it's not active or valid until you have a police officer serve that person the restraining order to allow them to read it, sign it, and now it's activated. Okay. This never happened. Okay. So now, because of that, she calls the cops because I'm around in the area. Now, when you have a restraining order, that person cannot be within 100 feet of the person that served the restraining order. Okay. But technically, I do not have a restraining order because I was never served. Right. Okay. So now, and she's only able to do this because her name is on the lease. However, both parties can do it. It's been a time when she had to get the boot. That's another story for another day. The shenanigans that I was involved in. Okay. So now the cops come in a paddy wagon, right? I'm like, ooh, who they locking up? Uh-oh, somebody in trouble, right? Not even thinking that person would be me, right? Ciao. They come up, they say, "Are you Jill Gordon?" I said, "Yes, I am." You have a restraining order on you from, I'm not going to say her name, blah, blah, blah. I said, "What? No, I don't." I said, now I'm thinking about the last one she tried to put on me. I said, "Oh, no, that has been situated. I went to court and they threw it out." Every time that she has done this to me, it always gets thrown out. Okay. God has always been on my side. But because I was not being obedient to him, he was allowing me to have to go through this to learn my lesson. Okay. You gotta learn your lesson, baby. If you don't learn from that first time, what they say, first time, shame on me, them. Second time and thereafter, shame on you. Because you ought to know by now, right? If you know better, you do better, right? Okay. So, I told these cops, I argued them down. I do not have no restraining order. They even went to their vehicle and went into their system. And how about the system said that the restraining order was active? How is a restraining order active and I never been served? Is what I was questioning. Child, everybody's outside. Lock me up, put me in a paddy wagon. Do you hear me? I automatically was like, I can't breathe. I'm telling you, for people who get locked up, let me tell you, I can feel their pain because I'm not one that typically gets locked up, okay? But I felt it. When I got locked up and I was in that paddy wagon, all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh, it was like I was having a panic attack. I really was. I was like, whoo, I had to like think, calm myself down, calm myself down. All I keep thinking, my children, my children. Even though they was of age. Jada, she was still like a teenager, but she was of age. I'm like, oh, my kids. You just start thinking about everything, right? It's like, I do not want to go through this. This is like unnecessary. And I didn't even do anything. You would you would have thought that I battled. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about people that have like mental disabilities and things like that, they believe in their stories, okay? And they make it possible for other people to believe in them and their stories as well. Because can I tell you how that was a Academy Award moment right there? And nobody received the award. I'm telling you, I was like, I cannot believe this is happening to Jill. Jill, do you know who I am? Be humble, guys. Be humble because God will truly humble you. Okay? Me, I'm like, I'm Jill. This don't happen to me. What? Honey, I'm here to tell you, it happens to the best of us. When you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, when you're not being obedient, when you're not following the laws of the commandments, okay? That Bible, that is like your daily log of how you are supposed to live your life. And if you do not abide by what God is telling you to do, you will not succeed. You want to do things your way? I'm going to show you better than I can tell you, is what God told me, right? So now, I get down, they take you to the roundhouse, right? Take you to the roundhouse. So now I'm at the roundhouse. I'm being processed. Now I've been fingerprinted before, but because of my job, never been fingerprinted at the prison. It ain't the prison. It was the roundhouse, the jail. I never made it to prison, baby. Thank God. Okay. So now I'm there and I get processed. Now I got to see a judge, right? Over like a camera or something. I'm telling you, you don't know what time it is when you in jail. It's like it's going so slow. So you think, soon as you know it, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, depending on what time you get locked up. When I got locked up, it was bright outside. It was light, honey. It was hours later, baby. It was hours later. I was in there for about 13 and a half hours, baby. Okay? All right. Now, let me tell you what happened, though. Because it's a very unique story. Because it's almost like I was intended or I was supposed to go there because maybe God wanted me to help somebody else, too, while I was helping myself. Okay? You ever known, like, to learn a lesson and helping somebody else learn a lesson at the same time you learn a lesson, y'all learn a lesson together, but you don't even know that you're learning the lesson together. Okay. Now, it was a female, and we was all talking. Everybody was talking amongst the jail cells. I can't believe I'm even saying this. And it was one person in each cell. The men were on the other side. The women were on one side. Okay. But you can hear everybody's voice. All right. Now, I'm like, hey, how you doing? We started conversing, things like that. We had cheese sandwiches and we had water. I didn't eat nothing. I was just drinking water. I had like 3 bottles, 4 bottles of water, just drinking water. You just get real thirsty. All of a sudden, when you don't have access to a store, you can't go nowhere to get you I don't know. I don't drink juice like that. I love iced tea. But say I ain't got no, you can go get an iced tea. You can go get you a Coca-Cola. I used to be addicted to Coca-Cola. You can go get you a Pepsi. You can go get you some juice. Whatever it is that you drink, you can purchase at the store, right? But when you in jail and you don't have options anymore, things just hit a little differently. You know what I mean? It just hit hard, like bam. So what happened is now, once I drink my water, I'm conversing, I'm feeling a little bit better, right? I'm cold. So I learned from a person in jail that you take tissue and you wrap it around your body, kind of like looking like a mummy, so to speak. And that's how you survive with no blankets. And for those who know me know that I do not like dirt. Oh my gosh, I'm so compulsive when it comes to cleaning. And it was just like filth everywhere. I said, I ain't using it. I squatted to use the toilet. I ain't sitting my behind on that toilet. Thank God I ain't had to do a number, 5. But let me tell you, it was tragedy. Tragedy, okay? You just don't know. Now, you got to see the judge. And after that, you'll know whether you going up, you getting sent up, or you going to the next jail, okay, on State Road in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, represent. You just don't know, right? So I'm like, well, I knew because I never, I don't know though, because hey, things can happen. They believed her. They believed her. I ain't had no. The system said I had a restraining order, but let me tell you, I swear to goodness, I was never served a restraining order. Okay. Okay. Now, so a female next to me, we start talking. I start talking to her. It was like God was speaking through me. He was telling me that, giving her encouraging words, affirmations. She was telling me her situation and how she had let her children down so many times. And I hope she's okay right now, you know. And she knew she was going back upstate because she was in a stolen car. She said she had no idea. And they all got locked up. And she said, I keep disappointing my kids. And I said, guess what? I said, no matter what, God loves you and your children love you too. I said, parents can do wrong bug. Children can do wrong all day long, right? But no, excuse me. Parents could do wrong all day long, but their children are always going to love them, no matter what. And God loves you too. So everybody was like, you don't belong here. What's your story? So I gave him a little brief synopsis of my story or whatever. And I'm telling you, the girl, she started becoming like suicidal. And like life just hit her, life be lifing. And it was like, it was becoming an epiphany because you're sitting in that cell for hours and all you got is time to think. Think about your flaws, everything that you should have done, could have done, how you would have did it differently or whatever, right? So now she said she wanted to come in my cell because she wanted to pray with me and give me a hug, right? And I was all for it. But I'm like, them cops ain't going to allow us to do that, right? I'm telling you. She said, Jill, you just make me feel safe. And I want to come in your cell and I want to, so you can hug me and pray for me. And I said, I sure wish you could come in my cell, you know? I felt like I was Apostle Paul or something. You understand? Like everybody in the Bible that's been locked up. I was like, God, Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, for real? I gotta go to work. Child, when God wants you to experience something, you ain't got no choice, honey. No choice on what you're going to experience because He got control all day long, baby. All day long. Okay? So now, she asked the cop, CO. She asked the cop, ain't no CO yet because this still like jail. She asked the cop, can I please, can you please let me in jail cell so we can pray together and so that I can hug her because I'm so suicidal right now and she's really helping me out. Cop, look, this gonna blow your mind. Now, under normal circumstances, you know what would have happened. Hell to the no, right? Excuse my language. The cop said, Jill, is that okay with you? Can she come into your cell? I said, sure. She can come in my cell. They let her in my cell, baby. They let her in my cell and she sat next to me and we hugged for about 5 to 10 minutes, baby. And we just pray. I prayed for her. I said, it's going to be all right. It's okay. God got you. God got you. You could turn your life around. It's not too late. Your children, they going to be there. They might, you might have some work to do. Okay? To earn their trust and things like that. But it's not the end of the world. You can overcome this. These words were coming from God. He was using me as a vessel. Because I don't know where that strength came from, baby. I ain't even had time to soak in my sorrow. Like, you're stupid. Why you keep going through this? Keep going back to that relationship and experiencing this. Damn, didn't you learn your lesson, Jill? Oh no, you don't want to learn your lesson. You want to keep doing what you want to do. Okay. Because I'm telling you, like, God really removed me from Philadelphia because I probably would have went back again. Okay. You become that a used to the abuser type of thing. Because I was really just thinking about it. I was really being abused. I was being physically abused because I was constantly being maced. And I was being verbally abused because I was constantly being called names and things like that. And I didn't retaliate most of the times with those type of things. I just was like, why are you talking to me like that? I thought you were supposed to love me. You know what I mean? Girl, you gotta love yourself first, boo, before anybody else can love you, okay? All right? It was a time I told her, like, you know, I be going hard, and I love you sometimes more than I love myself. She was like, you shouldn't do that. You should never do that. That's a turn off. Like, you don't love yourself. You gotta think a little deeper, baby. You gotta think a little deeper. Anytime you dealing with repeat abuse and just arguing, toxicity, all of that, and you keep dealing with it, you're telling the other person that you care more about them than you do yourself because you keep putting yourself through that. You know? And I had an aha epiphany moment, like, damn, I really like. Listen, life just in total turmoil. God said, I'm gonna remove you, sister. You my child. I'm gonna remove you because you are a child of God. You are a child of God. You can't mess with God's baby and think that everything gonna be all right now. Okay? I didn't want no bad to happen to her or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But when you called, because many are called, baby, but few are chosen. And why are few chosen? Because everybody does not respond to the call when God calls them. Only the chosen ones respond to the call. Okay? So I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to leave that right there. But I hope that sister that I came across while in jail, I hope she was all right. Okay. And I got another story for you of how I met another person in jail and what happened after that situation in the same prison on the men's side. Child, baby, I got stories for days, honey. So, if you have anything to relate to this story, my story, if you ever been locked up, if you ever been in a situation where you couldn't see yourself getting out of, or you thought, things were going to go one way and it ended up going another, comment below and let me know. How did it work out? Did you ever get locked up because of a relationship? A lot of people do, honestly. And if you want to hear more of my content, more of my, stories out of my notebook, please do like, comment, and subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of my team where we can help each other out. You tell me your stories, I tell you mine, and we can come together and we can work to become more Christ-like, and we can work for the better, baby. Because I tell you one thing, I'm definitely learning my lessons, okay? Because I do not want to go to total damnation. I do not want to go to hell. Baby, I'm in heaven all day long, and I already know what I want my mansion to look like, boo. Okay, so if I ever get a mansion here, then praise God. But I really don't want one. I like the like the low tiny house type of thing, or give me an RV. God, please, I be asking God, bless me with an RV. But that's another story for another day. But anyway, if you love to hear some more of my content, please like, comment, subscribe, push the notification button, baby. Please subscribe to me. Get me, help to get this story out there to somebody else that it could help them. You know, we share similarities. And I thank y'all so much. I thank you so much. I really do. You're a blessing. God got us here for a reason, baby. And we gonna push this through and see this out. Okay? I love you. And I thank you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.